it out as fast as we can so you can make an informed choice. And folks, we appreciate your support. We know that this is important to you, and your support helps us bring you more information. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Dad? Remember you said we ought to know where our treasure is?
Sure, son.
I think I'm beginning to see what you mean. It's here, Dad. All of God's gifts start right here.
On the next Your Health, we'll be discussing dietary fiber. Are you getting enough?
That's right, and we'll be taking your calls. The doctor's in, so call us on Your Health.
Hello, I'm James Robinson. My wife Betty. Watch us every day here on FamilyNet Television. Every day, Life Today. Don't miss it.
Each week, Hands-On Crafts for Kids will give you and your kids lots of new fun ideas to be creative together. Hands-On Crafts for Kids, part of the FamilyNet Creative Corner. Kathy Peterson has lots of new creative craft ideas for your home.
Hi, I'm Kathy Peterson. Come on along and join me on Town & Country Crafts.
Don't miss Town & Country Crafts with Kathy Peterson every week on FamilyNet.
If you've never seen the show, I've got a simple way to sum it all up. This is The Logan Show, where the future is now.
Can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending on
the talk show by women, for women, and about women. We're so glad you're watching the show today. We're going to have a great show in store. Gudren Van Dyke is going to be on the show today. We're going to talk with her about naturopathy. She really has it together on that, so we have lots of really good questions to ask, and she has the answers. I'll also be talking with Deborah Sheer. Deborah is with Second Chance, and we'll be talking about domestic violence again. And also Coretta Grant, one of my friends with the Calhoun County Department of Health here in Calhoun County. She has lots and lots of good information for us about smoking, about not smoking. So we're going to a break. As soon as we come back, then we will be talking with Gudren.
Hello, my name is Gene Stallings, and I'm standing in front of one of the homes at Rainbow Omega. As a parent, I worry about what's going to happen if Ruth Ann and I die, and there's Johnny. You know what I'd want him to do? I'd want him to come to Rainbow Omega. He can live out his life in a serene environment. Sometimes we do things just because it's the right thing to do. Helping Rainbow Omega is the right thing to do.
Need a break from the humdrum burger routine? Then visit your local KFC store in Calhoun County and see what the Colonel's cooking up for lunch or dinner. The KFC buffet features the Colonel's famous original chicken, extra crispy and roasted chicken, fresh vegetables, and delicious homemade cobblers. Or, if you're in a hurry, take home a bucket of chicken for the family. And don't forget, your Calhoun County KFC stores feature a delicious breakfast buffet on Friday and Saturday mornings. KFC of Calhoun County, where we do chicken right.
When you're on the go, it's good to know there's a Young Oil Company Grub Mart nearby. Whether you need a fill-up, a snack, or something cold to drink, you'll find it all at your local Grub Mart. Clean stores, friendly service, and pay at the pump. It's all waiting for you at your home-owned and operated Grub Mart. For quality gasoline and the best of convenience, visit the nearest Young Oil Company Grub Mart. There's a Grub Mart near you.
She turned around and left the cave, and I'm standing there by the pool of water alone, like I am in all of my dreams. And it just brought up a whole bunch of issues that...
Tym piórze nie ma atramentu.
What?
I wtedy możemy zacząć dopiero pracować.
Using a broker you can't understand doesn't make much sense either. That's why Edward Jones speaks in a language you can understand, so financial decisions get the attention they deserve. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Welcome back to The Edge, the talk show by women, for women, and about women. And one of my really good friends from Germany, she ain't from here, okay? Gudren Van Dyke. Gudren, you're a doctor of naturopathy.
Yes, I am.
So let's talk a little bit. There's so many things that I've been doing a lot of research, and you have given us already so much good information about this. So let's talk a little bit about naturopathy and exactly what it is. What is it?
Okay, it is working on restoring the body instead of just giving something for the symptoms. You know, medication works mostly on symptoms. It does not restore the body. And your body has a self-healing ability. That if you give it the right tools, the right fuel, then it will help restore itself.
So this is more in a natural state rather than medication.
Exactly. Medication just really treats the symptoms. You go to the doctor, well, I have a cold, give me something, and that's what they do. If you want to find out where the cold comes from, then you go deeper. It's your immune system. So you want to work on the immune system and rebuild the immune system. And with stress and all these things that are going on, environmental stress, physical, mental, all these things, food, wrong foods, it breaks down the body. So you have to restore the body. If you give the body what the body needs to do it itself, it will do it.
So basically what you're doing is going right to the source of the problem. Now, that makes a lot of sense.
On the physical level, on the emotional level, if you have emotional issues that you have stuffed down, you know, you peel like an onion. It's like you build your own truth by, let's say you had a few issues when you were a child, so you start building your own truth on that and your own, you know, thinking. And that's how you build on the wrong truth. It's not God's truth, it's the wrong truth. It's your own stuff, basically. And you build on that, and you build basically a lie. So you have to, in order to find the root and the cause of the problem, you have to take those layers back off and go to the root of it.
Find out what it is.
And sometimes it takes several sessions, or you know, whatever you want to call it, to find out what's going on. And there are things like the flower remedies which work on the emotional issues. It's nothing that you smell, okay? This is not the essential oils. It's something you take by mouth, and it works on the emotion. It's homeopathic, and it changes the vibration in your body. And every emotion has a certain vibration, and every organ has a certain vibration. And you have to put that back in homeostasis, which is balance, in order to have a healthy body.
Now, Gudren, does this make sense? Okay, when you drink too much coffee, you know, you start getting a little shaky.
Yeah.
So is that also, could that be a cause or a symptom? See, this is coffee I'm talking about. I love coffee, by the way. You're going to tell me not to drink coffee.
I call it the Christian drug, because you can do that. Because you can do it without going to jail. So, you know, in excess, you can do it without going to jail. I mean,
I can have one cup, right?
Yeah, if that's what you can stomach, I can't. I mean, I know if I have coffee, I have the reverse effect. I go to sleep.
Wow.
So I get so overstimulated that I go to sleep. But I have to work on my endocrine system, so because that's what you stimulate, your endocrine system, your adrenals. And you give them basically the wrong you know, stimulant instead of having a healthy stimulation. Like, you know, you stimulate by your calling. You're driven almost by your calling because you have to do it and you're happy in it. And if you do that, that's a healthy way of stimulating. But if you do it by external stimulants like these, like, you know, coffee, alcohol, drugs, smoking, whatever it may be, if it's anything that's detrimental to you, don't do it.
So it's kind of like it's an easy go up, but also a very fast go down.
You will, and you have to replenish it then. You know, like smoking, you have to have another cigarette. If you eat cake all the time, that's what you have to do then. You get that level again. You know, it's an addiction then. And it can be whatever it may be. The addiction is there, from internet to whatever, you know, alcohol, any kind of abuse. But if you are stimulated by your calling, then you run on positive energy. And that's what you're trying to do. And if you drink coffee and you overdo it, I mean, everything in moderation, you know. But if you overdo it, you will run your endocrine system down. Your endocrine system is the connection between the mind and the body, because whatever you think affects that fight and flight and the you know, all these.
It's all about
emotions that goes
like
into your hormones, yeah. And once you do that, if all that goes in there, it gets fed into the body, and that's how you change to better or worse the chemicals in your body.
Now you have something very special you'd like to talk with us about today, something you've done research on.
Yeah, it's MS, multiple sclerosis, which is an autoimmune disease, and it affects mainly women. And it affects mainly people who live in the northern area, and actually all over the world. Where it doesn't show up as much is like the places where they eat a lot of cold water fish, and not so much red meat.
So around the coast.
Yeah, or like you know, it's really cold, or it's snowing, and. They found out also Japan doesn't have it that much. I hope that was right. Japan, that's the word. Okay, the reason why is because they eat a lot of fish, and they eat a lot of soy and these things that replenish the body and give the body the ability to function properly. And they found out that the essential fatty acids, which is in fish oil, are helpful to rebuild the nervous system and the myelin sheath and all these things that are going wrong in MS. MS is an autoimmune disease that can be triggered by a virus or stress. I think it's kind of sleeping in the body in some people that have a tendency to that particular problem.
So in essence, we are what we eat.
We are what we eat and what we think. It's both. You know, and that's that connection again between mind and body. It's the endocrine system, and that's what normally goes wrong. And that MS is a hormone disease, really. It has a lot of the hormones are going off where they're not supposed to be. That's why a lot of women are affected, because men are just not as, you know, hormone driven as women are. And it affects the eyes, the nerves of the eyes. It affects like the feet, any extremities, the tingling, and people drop a lot. And this is the symptoms, kind of signs and symptoms that are going on with MS. It also affects the mood swings.
So you say mood swings.
Yeah, immense mood swings. Inability to concentrate, inability to sleep properly. All these things come in, and they fall a lot, these people, because they have muscle weakness. And helpful with that, for that is to eat the right food, first of all, which would be the essential fatty acids, salmon, can I say that right? Yeah. Cold water fish, let's put it like that. Cold water fish. Or
now, how should we cook this food?
Oh, you do not cook it in fat. Nothing on the stove. You put it in the oven and broil it, or you know, anything like that. You want to avoid saturated fat, period, because people like that are not able to digest it. They need digestive enzymes to even digest the normal food that you and I would eat, which you don't eat the saturated fat. I know you eat pretty healthy.
Well, I try most of the
unless you have to eat out somewhere. It's hard if you have to eat out.
That brings another question. Okay, when you eat out, I mean, what options do you have?
The salad bar.
But you have to be careful with the salad bar.
Well, I'm very careful with it. I try to get like the dressing. I try to get the olive oil dressing, you know, balsamic vinegar and things like that. There's several out there that are available. You don't go for the fatty stuff. That is so, yeah, it tastes good, but in the long run you pay for it, you know. So you want to go for the healthy things. And they're out there, and you just have to change your thinking on what to eat and what not to eat.
Just stop for a minute and think about what you're eating.
Yeah, and learn about different things. Learn how to eat the Japanese cuisine, you know, eat the right things. That's very important. You have to find out what kind of food sensitivities or allergies you have, because most of these people have that. All autoimmune diseases are somewhere connected to allergies. If it's environmental or if it's food, it's definitely allergies there.
Well, you brought up allergies. And it's strange, when I go on a business trip, I can go anywhere else. When I come back home, then my allergies just explode. It's like I can't breathe. You know what I mean?
Is it because of this area?
Could it be this area? That's what I'm wondering.
Or it could be what you're eating while you're gone, too.
So I'm eating healthier possibly when I'm away? Because usually I just grab something,
no,
whatever's there.
When you go somewhere, then you eat usually the food, whatever comes, is just right at that point, and you don't really watch what you eat. So you're preparing your body basically for defense. You say, I don't want this. By the time you get home, that's when you have the outbreak.
See, I wasn't for sure if it was the area. I went to North Carolina.
I
went to Charlotte.
I rebuked that.
Didn't have any problems. And then I came back home, and it's like I started sneezing and.
Well, Calhoun County will be the healthiest area.
You think?
It's not right now, but it will be.
We're striving.
We're working on it. And yeah, well, I think a lot of people are starting to wonder, how they can be healthy and how they can work on themselves and don't have to always run to the physician and find out what they can do, or just to give something to get rid of the symptoms, because they realize.
Well, so we want to pop a pill. We want the pill to be the thing that heals us, but it's basically it's inside, right?
I have people come to me and they don't want to take herbs because they say it's a pill, and I'm like, yeah, but it's food in pill form.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Because
it's not really medicine.
It is not. Well, yeah, your food is your medicine, but it's not medicine as the medication that you would get from a regular physician. It is a food supplement, and since you're not eating the right foods, you have to supplement. That's just it, because else your body will slowly but surely break down. I'm actually amazed how the body can last that long without getting really, really bad. But I see it now, the more the parents are not eating right, it goes in the next generation and the next generation, and you have a breakdown. And you have little children having severe problems that the grandparents or great-parents never even had to deal with. So it's important to change now.
Well, we have so many things going on in the environment.
That
and eating fast food all the time.
Yeah.
Everything is fast. Everything
it's a combination of all of it. You can't really just say it's the food only. It's a combination of all of it. And we're not exercising anymore. And I mean, if you have a yard, do something to it.
Well, you know what our parents and grandparents did? They would work on the farms.
Yeah.
Got lots of exercise.
And they were exposed to the sun. Like nowadays we say, well, be careful with the sun. They had no problems with it. They had the antioxidants in their body to fight off what the sun does to us now.
Because now we worry about skin cancers and all kinds of things.
They didn't have to worry about that. They were in the sun like 24/7. They were out there, I mean, they went to sleep with the sun going down, and they came up and did their work. The sun goes up, they went up. And now we're like, we have the time change and, to get more light.
And I am so anti the time change.
Me too, totally. And I don't know if you remember that when we changed time now, this spring, we had, like, in the middle of the night, we had the siren go off because of bad weather. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was a zombie the next day because I couldn't go back to sleep then. Because
so what is it about our time clock inside our bodies? It's like, I have full intentions on the weekends to sleep late. I just can't do it. I wake up early.
You have a clock, and your clock is working.
Yeah, apparently
it
is. It wakes me right on up.
And a lot of people, their clock is not working. They need melatonin to go all the way into their
So why would your clock not be working?
Because your endocrine system, again, I'm always on that. I know by now people get tired of hearing that, but that's the very important thing is your endocrine system, because it sets everything. It's the hormones. And melatonin is a hormone that at nighttime works for you to rebuild your body. And you can't rebuild without having some decent sleep,
So I'll wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning is a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing.
I don't have to have an alarm clock.
Just go to bed on time,
No, even if I sleep late, this is the strange thing about it, or not sleep late, but even if I go to bed late, I still wake up at 6.
My cat does that too. And I don't like my cat sometimes. I'm like, you wake up and you have 2 eyes looking into your eyes. Get up, feed me.
So I'm having some kind of a well-balance then somewhere. Okay.
Yes, you do. And a lot of people, especially with autoimmune diseases, don't have that. They go to sleep, they can sleep anytime really, but they never go to sleep deep and to have a replenishing stage in there.
So that's a good thing when you can go to sleep. I mean, when at night, I'm like that. I mean,
but when you sleep probably like a log, too.
Oh, I do.
So nothing worries.
You know, when we had the earthquake, was it last year or year before last, there was an earthquake in DeKalb County. And so my mom called. She said, "What do you think about the earthquake?" And I said, "What earthquake?" She said, "You really can sleep through an earthquake."
You just felt rocked a little bit.
Really.
Yeah, but okay, what's very good for MS, again, for multiple sclerosis is CoQ10, coenzyme Q10, because it helps with oxygenation of the cells on the cellular level. It's also good for smokers. People who smoke need oxygen, plenty of it, because their arteries and capillaries and all that tighten up. And they need that too. But that really very important is CoQ10. It's also good for the heart. So it's really something that needs to be everywhere in the body, because it's on cells.
Is it too late? What if someone has a heart condition? Is it too late to take
CoQ10? Yeah. Never.
Never
too late. Never too late. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to prevent the heart problem or whatever, but you're working on getting better. You know, now it is not an excuse to go on smoking. It's not like I'm taking CoQ10, I can smoke now. No, that's not it. But it would help at least to open up these the flow in the body again. What's also helpful for MS again is the gamma-linolic acid, which is the omega-3s, fish oil, evening primrose oil, flaxseed, all these are good for that, because it helps with the nerves to build okay, what happens is with MS, the nerve endings and the nerves are stripped, basically, and then the electric function is not there anymore, and it helps to replenish that and fix that somewhat. B vitamins, very important, because it helps with nerves. With everybody who has close to ripping out hair or anything, you know, stress situations, B vitamins and calming herbs.
Now, are these things a woman should take in general anyway? Because we are so busy.
Yes, absolutely.
And because of the stress that's involved.
See, B vitamins are water soluble. So what happens if you eat something that has B vitamins in it? Well, if you do it in the morning, by the time noon comes, the B vitamins are gone. So you have to replenish. If it was like vitamin E or vitamin A, those are fat soluble. They will store in fat. That's why you can't take too much of it. But vitamin C or vitamin B, you really can't overdose. If you have vitamin C, if you have too much of that, all you have is maybe a little bit diarrhea.
Okay. Well, Gudren, we're going to have to go to a break. But before we go to the break, give us your information where we can get in contact with you, because you have so much good information, and you can do an analysis.
That's right. I can do an analysis right there at Donna's Delights at the food court in the mall, and you can set up an appointment by calling.
You can call the store, call 835-1477.
Or you can call me, 831-0040. Also, I will be doing a class at Gadsden State starting next Tuesday. And you can call Gadsden State for that. It's a 3-week class, 2 times a week, on all different kind of subjects and question and answers on personal level.
Okay, let's go to a break and let's stay healthy.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
I'm Everett King with ERA King and ERA Guyton King Real Estate, and I'm here with exciting news about how to look at a house. We have brand new and exciting technology called visual tours, and from this day forward, all of our listings will have a visual tour. Matter of fact, our new campaign is called Every Listing Deserves a Tour. Here's how it works. Go to one of our websites, click on Visual Tours. Every single listing we have from this day forward will have a visual tour. Click on the hotspot, and you'll be able to go into any room in the house. It's just like being with an agent. When you find your perfect house, you call one of our professionals, and we'll be happy to help you through the process. In the meantime, go to the web, and click us out.
You can get a cheap drive-through wash anywhere, but since you deserve the best, you deserve the quality you get at your only full-service car wash in Northeast Alabama at the Great American Car Wash in Anniston. From the moment you enter until you're on your way, you know that every detail is important and won't be overlooked. We know that time is important to all of us, so it's important for you to be able to get your car done. Even if it's lunchtime, you still have time for lunch. It's the Great American Car Wash. When we do more than just clean your car, we send you on your way feeling as good as your car does.
And where is this fun place? The Victoria in Anniston.
Welcome back to the Edge, the talk show by women, for women, and about women. And I have my really good friend with me today, Deborah Sheer, with Second Chance. And it's always exciting to have you on the show because we get to learn so many things. Yesterday was just a really, really good show. We were talking about people who are living together and not married, and all the benefits of, well, actually the benefits of being married, but
versus the benefits of not being married.
Yes, of not being married. But all of the interesting information you were giving us yesterday was just really so good.
I hope that helped some people, because I thought that was something that not a lot of us know about. I didn't even know about it, so.
But we always learn so many different things from you, like about the telephone situation. Just a few weeks ago, we were talking about this, and I didn't realize that if a phone had been disconnected in a certain, like a room or a house or whatever, and you're running into a problem with someone, you can plug a phone into the socket, and even though it's not actually live, even though the phone service is not on, you could dial 911.
Absolutely.
That is good. I knew you could do that with cell phone, but it just makes sense you can do it with a non-wired phone too, or with a wired phone too.
With a home phone, yeah.
So with wired and wireless, you can still get help.
Which is, I think that's pretty much standard now in this country, that, you know, there's always, that's a free service. No matter if you can afford service or not, cell phone or home service, you at least have that safety net there that you can always get in touch with 911.
So if the perpetrator has taken the phone away, and if he has the cell phone or the phone, whatever service, disconnected, you could still use a phone.
If
Just
you
keep
can
one hidden.
If you can find a phone somewhere, yeah.
So that would be a good idea. Keep one hidden.
Yes, that's a great idea. Borrow one from someone. So you can at least plug in the phone.
Well, you can get phones now reasonable.
Yeah, you can get them for $10, like at Walmart and stuff.
So just get one.
Okay,
what do you have for us today?
What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about everything.
You want to talk about domestic violence, positive parenting, nutrition? No, we'll leave nutrition up to Gudren. She's the expert on that.
Now, yesterday we were on a roll with a topic about parenting and about being positive with parenting.
That's one of my favorite subjects. Yeah. You got a question about that? Do you want to just?
Well, no, I don't have a question. Let's just keep talking about it.
Let's just talk about it.
Because that is just more reinforcement we need, because I'm in the public all day, every day, and I see so many things that happen in the mall with people and their kids.
You want to say something to them, don't you?
Yeah,
you're like me. You're like, quit beating that child.
What could I say? Is there anything I can say? Other than, here's Deborah's business card, take it.
What I do is I try to diffuse the situation. If I see it's really heated, you know, if I see a parent really whacking on a kid, I try to diffuse the situation by saying to the parent, you know, which is probably, this is not really relevant because I don't know how they feel, but I just try to say something like, I know how you feel, you must be really stressed out. And then I just kind of, you know, that just kind of diffuses the situation.
That's a nice way. Okay, you're in a nice way, you're going in.
And you're just diffusing it. You're kind of breaking it up and giving the parent a chance to cool down and step back. And I try to make eye contact with the kid. I always get down on my knees so that I'm at eye level with the child, and, you know, kind of comfort them for a second, and then, you know, comfort the parent, and just, you know, like I said, just diffuse it, and maybe hopefully.
Sometimes just conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, just.
So not necessarily about that, just anything.
Anything. Yeah, anything. Yeah, you could say anything. That's just always what I say. Is, you know, I know you're having a rough day, or this must be really tough for you, especially if they have 2 or 3 kids and they're all screaming, and you're just
that has to be tough.
You know they're freaking out, so you just want to say something to them like, I know this is really stressful for you. And sometimes just being able to, have another adult be sympathetic or empathetic with them kind of makes them just
chill.
It's like a parent taking the 10, counting to 10.
Well, sometimes, Deborah, you can have just really good intentions, but just the frustrations of the day. So as a parent, what should we do? Count to 10 backwards? That's what I used to do.
Yeah, I think anything, you know how I feel. I just, I don't believe in spanking. I don't believe in negativity or screaming or yelling. Anything that you can do, just try, if you can.
Think about it.
Think about the child instead of thinking about yourself and what would make you feel better. It's going to make you feel a lot better to scream or yell or whack. It's going to release your frustration, make you feel better. But it's really not about you. It's about teaching your child, training your child, making it okay for them. And so just if you can just kind of step back and put yourself in their place and just count to 10 or just, I don't know, whatever you need to do.
Kids watch you. When you're raising your children, whatever you do, they're going to do.
Yeah, like we were talking about yesterday, absolutely. I mean, it's just, it's cyclical. If your parents spanked you, then you're going to spank your kids, because what else do you know?
So as the parent needs to make the right decision.
It is tough. It's not easy. It's not convenient. It's not, I mean, if it were, we would all do it. If it were easy and convenient for us to all do the positive reinforcement and the step back and not hit, we would all do it.
But you know something, if you'll just try one day, just one day of only saying positive phrases, okay, and you have to really work at it, you actually feel better by the end of the day.
You do feel better. And I have heard people say, well, it's tough for me to remember. Give yourself cues. Give yourself prompts. If you can't remember to say something positive or go into the bedroom or the playroom where your child's playing or the living room and say something positive, write something out on a piece of paper. A smiley face is always a good thing, and every time you look at that smiley face, put it somewhere where you'll see it, and that way it'll be a reminder for you, a little cue for you to, okay, I need to go say something positive to my kids. I need to go make sure that I'm giving them some positive attention.
And you know something, if you start out with the children, then it'll go home with the husband. You'll be more positive with the husband or the wife, whichever. And then on the job, guess what? The job's going to run smoother too.
It's a cycle. It is, and
it goes around.
And it's really hard. I know in the classes that I've taken on positive parenting, you talk about it's really hard when you're in a stressful marriage or a stressful relationship, or it's in work is stressful. It's hard for you to be positive with your kids, and that's so true. So you got to start somewhere, though. I mean, if you can, start with your kids, and then work on your relationship with your husband or your partner, and then hopefully, like you said, it'll all just kind of go out and they'll just all be positive.
Well, I see a lot of people every day, and I do a lot of makeovers, and sometimes women talk to me about their problems, things that are going on in their lives. So are you finding that there's more of this now? Do you think it's probably because we're such a negative society? I mean, we see like bad things on the news. You don't see good things on the news.
I was talking to somebody about this the other day. The drama and the chaos and the negativity, we find it much more interesting than the positive, good stuff.
Well, who watches American Idol? And why do you really watch American Idol? It's to listen to Simon.
It's horrible. I mean, we've become indoctrinated with the negativity. I mean, we really think that it's interesting and the chaos is fun and the drama is fun. I mean, we love all these shows where it's real negative and stuff. If you have something that's positive, people really aren't that interested. Right. And it's sad because we've been socialized into that, into watching the horrible news. I mean, we love car crashes and scandals and
That's why we watch the news, to find out what's going on.
I hate to watch the news. It's so depressing.
What do you suggest you do? I mean, you have to watch the news. You have to know what's going on in life. Just not make it the focal point.
I would read the newspaper. That way you don't get those visual images of, the horrible stuff.
Because we are picture society.
Or watch the look at the internet. But definitely don't watch the news with your kids, with all that negativity and all that stuff. Oh, I don't know.
That was a rough time when 9/11 happened. And I mean, it was all over the news, and people were sheltering their children.
Gosh.
But now I'm kind of in between on that. I think you have to shelter your children to a point, but they also need to know what's going on.
But they don't need to see it every day, Donna. You can, the one day.
It was every day, all day long.
It happened. You watch the news one day. This is what happened, and that's it. They don't need to watch it over and over and over and over again. I mean, my God, it was on for like 3 weeks straight.
And see, now we're conditioned to all of this. So
we're
when something
desensitized.
happens, right? So when something happens at this point, we don't even, it doesn't faze us like it used to.
And then I think that's awful. And our kids are so affected by that. We don't even realize how horrible that is, that impact of that, of just seeing that stuff day after day. It just doesn't faze them anymore.
Then it turns into domestic violence.
I think so. Because domestic violence is like all that other stuff. If you grow up with it and you see it all the time, then...
Well, I'm sure domestic violence has been around since the world was created.
Absolutely.
I'm certain of that. It's just that you hear more of it now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because there's people out there talking about it now, and there's services out there. And I think with the O.J. Simpson case 10 years ago, or no, longer than that, 12 years ago, that was the first time I'd really heard about domestic violence. I didn't really know what domestic violence was.
I didn't realize it happened in every class of people, but it does.
The reason why we didn't hear about it is because from her was because she had options. She had money.
But I think she liked the high life, so she stayed in it.
For whatever reason, she stayed in it. But, you know, compare Nicole Brown to, you know, Betty Jo Smith over here who has no options. Yeah, she's going to come to me and she's going to talk to me because she needs help, but she didn't because she had money and she had a place to go and she had family and she could go to a hotel. So, so when we heard about her, I was like, wow, it really does happen to everybody.
Definitely does. Deborah, let's take your information.
Okay. If you need to call the 800 number to get help, it's 1-800-650-6522, and that serves Cleveland County, Talladega County, and Calhoun County. And that will ring directly into Second Chance, and there's an advocate on the phone there 24 hours a day. If you have a question, you know, if you just want to know something, if you just have information, if you want to know information, if you're just wondering if you're in a relationship that you need to get out of, or if you need to go into shelter, because it rings right into the shelter, there's someone there 24 hours a day.
And your information is private.
Yes, it's all confidential. Anything that's discussed between a victim and an advocate is all very confidential because for obvious reasons.
Well, Deborah, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Let's go to a really quick break, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Coretta Grant.
Yes.
I chose Antioch for my place of worship because of the worship, because here I'm able to lift my hands or close my eyes or however it is that I want to worship. I enjoy the atmosphere at Antioch. Every time you walk in the door, somebody is there to greet you with a smile and with a hug. You can come in here and you can worship God with everything that you want to, and I like that about Antioch.
You have to experience the worship before you can enjoy it. Antioch Baptist Church.
Here's what you need. Healthy hometown cooking prepared just the way you like it. The Porterhouse Cafe is the perfect place to meet your friends for lunch, then bring your family for supper. The Porterhouse is located just off Highway 78, across from the mall in Oxford. There's a separate large room just right for your events and meetings, plus a steaming hot food bar and full menu of favorites like steak, chicken, and shrimp. And don't miss the shrimp po' boy. Oh man. The Porterhouse Cafe. Real cooks fixing real food for real people.
Anniston Orthopedics, the premier orthopedic group in Calhoun and surrounding counties for over 35 years, located in the RMC Tyler Center. The Orthopedic Center of Excellence houses offices, casting and MRI services, physical therapy, and the Wound Care Center all under one roof. With 8 board-certified surgeons, they can diagnose and treat all sports injuries, workers' comp claims, and perform minimal invasive surgery for hip and knee joints. Anniston Orthopedic Associates, serving all 3 major hospitals in the area. Call today for your appointment. Marvin's Building Material and Home Center, your hometown store, offers a product selection that can handle any home improvement need at a guaranteed low price. Marvin sales associates are knowledgeable and eager to help you with your toughest job. With 23 convenient locations in the Southeast, there is a Marvin's near you. So don't forget Marvin's, your hometown store, making it easy, one project at a time.
For cleaning supplies, press 2. For food and toys, press 3. If you need assistance, please stay on the line.
When your pet care is at hand, don't you like the personal attention you get from a local store? GJ's Pet Supplies is a locally owned and operated store in Calhoun County. We've been here for over a decade, and not only have we grown to love your animals, but they seem to like us too. GJ's Pet Supplies on Highway 431 in Anniston, Alabama.
Welcome back to The Edge, the talk show by women, for women, and about women. And for you guys who are listening out there, you might want to listen to this too. This is a really good discussion. My friend Coretta Grant is on the show with me. She's with the Calhoun County
Health Department.
Health Department. Okay, it's in Calhoun County. But no, for you guys out there in Etowah County, you listen up too. Okay,
that's right.
This is some really good information. You know, we're on in Gadsden now.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
So this is a good resource.
And for you people in Gadsden, that's what Area 5. It's part of Area 5 of with the Health Department, right?
Okay.
And they do have a tobacco rep there as well.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
There are 11 of us around the state. So each one of us covers a Health Department area. The state is divided into areas, and Calhoun County has 8 counties within this area. So I cover 8 counties. Okay.
Well, you're doing a really good work out there.
Oh, thank you. I try.
And we've had a lot of cancer in our family, so I am just so anti-smoking. I think it's just a horrible thing to watch someone die of lung
really
cancer.
is. And just recently, my family was hit with that. I had someone very close to me was diagnosed with cancer of the larynx, and at this time, the doctor think that they caught it pretty early, and this person is undergoing treatment at this time, so we're real hopeful. But has been smoking since a very early age.
Oh, wow.
And not 50 yet, so that lets you know how harmful tobacco is. And no matter what form it's in, whether it's a cigarette, a cigar, if it's snuff, chew, or dip, or whatever you want to call it, it's harmful.
Well, some people think they can chew or dip and it's not going to affect.
It's the same thing, and I tell people that, and they say, well, I stopped smoking and I went to snuff because I thought that was better. It's still bad, no matter how you look at it. You still have the same chemicals in there, and and nicotine is just addictive in any form.
Yeah.
And the cigarette companies, the tobacco companies are trying to tell you, well, we have a light cigarette now. There's no such thing as a light cigarette, because you got to smoke more of those light cigarettes to get the buzz that you got with that regular cigarette.
So it's all addictive.
It's all addictive. They add flavors to it now. You can even get chocolate cigarettes.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know.
Bubblegum flavored cigarettes. And that's to make it more attractive to young people and to get new people in.
And what are we teaching our children? There's a candy cigarette out. It was that when I was a kid. And it's bubble gum.
Right, and it has all that sugar on it, and you blow it and you see the smoke, so you think you're smoking. I had that too. And I don't buy it for my little girl. Just the same reason why I don't buy guns, because it's just not anything that I want her to, get started with. But if you notice, if you walk into a store, of course in Alabama we have what you call product placement, and you really can't put those tobacco products within reach of a minor now. You have to go, you have to go behind the counter, or someone has to go behind a locked door to get the tobacco products. Well, not all states are like us. And so when they come in to set up their displays, they set it up right there at eye level. And who's at eye level? Right there.
Children.
Children. And so they make the boxes real decorative. They add these flavors to it. And so kids are curious about it. And of course, kids want to do anything that you tell them not to do because they think that it's fun and you're trying to keep them from having fun. And so of course they're going to try it.
Sure.
And part of the tobacco program, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get workplaces and work sites and schools, whomever in the community, to pass some policies, some ordinances banning tobacco products. And my thing is, Donna, what you do in your own house, that's you. But when you come into a restaurant or to another public place and I'm there and I have to share that air with you, then no. Then it's about me at that time.
Now you have some events coming up.
Right. I want to remind people that May 31st is World No Tobacco Day. And this was began in 1987 by WHO, World Health Organization, as a way to draw emphasis on the tobacco problem that we have here, well, around the world. Because, in November we have the Great American Smoke Out. Well, here it is, May 31st. Don't forget, this is World Tobacco Day. So this is worldwide. We're encouraging people to think about tobacco and its harmful effects and what it does to people. And even if you don't, think about somebody that you know that smokes or dip or whatever, your loved ones, your friends, your church members, whomever, and you want those people to live long, healthy lives. Encourage them to stop smoking. I also want to talk to the community because on Monday, May 15th, the Anniston City Council is having a special work session, and they're going to sit down and come up with an ordinance for Anniston. So we're very excited about that. And we want to let Oxford know. I want to let all the residents of Oxford please contact your city council members, the mayor, whomever, and let them know that you want an ordinance as well, because the two cities have come together and tried to do it at the same time, but I think Anniston was a little bit more further in their decision to have one than Oxford.
Well, Coretta, you know, it all starts with children.
Right.
And training them the right way. Do you go to schools and talk to students about not smoking?
I do. If teachers call me or guidance counselors call me and say, hey, especially a lot of health education classes, the teacher call and say, hey, I need you to come. And I come because I think it's important. Because we realize smoking starts at about the 5th or 6th grade. And we really need to get into
Even for this area.
Even for this area. And so we really need to get into the school systems and talk to the kids and let them know. Because if you tell a kid something, they're going to run home and tell the parents about it.
Then you're getting both of them at the same time.
Right. And so it's just so important because once they start like that, they continue to do it. I have a display board, and I have a gentleman on the display board that's only 30 years old. But he's had like 30 surgeries, started dipping at 13, diagnosed with cancer at 17. So he did it to fit in with his friends, playing baseball. And you know, a lot of baseball players use it. And so he did that to fit in with the rest of the group. And at 17, he was diagnosed with cancer. And here at the age of 30, he's had like 30 surgeries.
Oh my goodness.
Half of his face is removed, is gone because of cancer.
Now, if a person wanted to request you to come and speak to a group, there's church groups, just anybody basically, how can they get in contact with you?
You can contact me at the Calhoun County Health Department, area code 256-236-3274, or you can email me, cgrant@adph.al.state.us.
Or just give me a call. I'll make sure you get in contact with her.
Yes.
Now, before we go to a break, let's talk about that cute little girl you have. Now, let's say hey to her. Now, this little girl is one of my best customers.
So, hello, Cameron. She's 5 and acts like she's 50.
Yes, she does. She's very growny.
Driving mother crazy.
You can tell this mom has spent a lot of time with her little girl.
Well,
she's a good little girl. She really is. We're definitely not talking about you earlier on the show. This is a good little girl. But she's so informative. How old is she?
She's 5. But I thought about that earlier in the show.
She is 5.
Where you were talking about that spanking.
No.
But I thought, well, she just hadn't caught me doing it yet.
But she is just so knowledgeable to be 5 years old, so you've done an excellent job with her.
Well, they celebrated Cinco de Mayo at school last week, and so she's been doing the Mexican foot dance, I believe they call it.
Oh, I can see that too.
And so that's been an experience, and she's trying to teach her mom, and I'm looking at her going, nah.
Oh, come on, Mom.
Mom
join in on the fun.
Mom can't move like that anymore.
I bet you can.
Nah.
We're going to have to go to a break, and when we come back, my friend from GJ's Pet Store will be with us.
The Fort McClellan Credit Union, where membership pays. Open the door to higher savings and low loan rates. You're eligible for membership if you live, work, or attend school in the counties of Calhoun, Cleburne, Etowah, Cherokee, St. Clair, Talladega, Clay, Randolph, or Chambers. We have 3 branches, over 2,000 service centers, and still growing. Check out our branch in progress in Jacksonville at 1204 Church Avenue Southeast. Call or stop by any of our locations. Come in to join and start saving money today.
Who needs all the yelling and screaming? At Nissan of Gadsden, we believe in friendly, honest service and quality products.
Nissan of Gadsden is making room for the 06s with special customer cash back on in-stock 05s. Listen to this. 05 Nissan Xteras, $2,000 customer cash back. 05 Nissan Frontiers, $1,500 customer cash back. And 05 Titans, as much as $3,000 customer cash back.
For quality, service, and honesty. Nissan of Gadsden. Believe me, we've got your Nissan.
More printing, Anniston's #1 copy shop, with over 6 million copies in the last 3 years. More Printing features new 4-color printing at great prices. 500 full-color business cards with photos for only $49.95 plus setup. Color copies as low as 39 cents each, and black and white as low as 4 cents each. For locally owned, personal service, call More Printing, rated Calhoun County's #1 service printer. Remember, for pickup and delivery, call More Printing today.
She turned around and left the cave, and I'm standing there by the pool of water alone, like I am in all of my dreams. And it just brought up a whole bunch of issues that...
Tym piórze nie ma atramentu.
What?
I wtedy możemy zacząć dopiero pracować.
Using a broker you can't understand doesn't make much sense either. That's why Edward Jones speaks in a language you can understand, so financial decisions get the attention they deserve. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Welcome back to The Edge, the talk show by women, for women, and about women. And my really good friend, Cheryl Davis, is with me with GJ's Pet Store. And I'm really happy you didn't bring a snake this time. We got lots of email response off of that. I was apparently really the comic relief last week. But she was having a problem with her microphone. And every time she would reach up to grab the microphone, she'd put the snake down. For those of you who didn't see the show last week. And that snake liked me. I mean, the snake kept coming towards me. And I was freaking. I mean, one time I was actually on the spot. But we have a nice little feathered friend with us today.
This is a little 7-week-old cockatoo.
Oh, and how pretty.
If nobody knows what a cockatoo is, they are the big white. He's only 7 weeks. He don't know how to perch. He don't know how to do anything.
He is so cute.
They are the big white birds with the big top knot. They're very vocal birds.
Yeah, I could tell you had to take him outside earlier.
He's decided he's going to be quiet for a minute. He's still hand feeding, and a lot of times when we say hand feeding, people go, what do you mean? You just feed them with your hand? No, that's not what we mean. We have to feed them with a syringe. They're not old enough to eat regular food. Cockatoos are known for their loving ability. They do talk very well, but not as well as some birds. These birds are real affectionate birds. Very affectionate birds.
Well, now he looks is it a he or a she?
We don't know. These birds, you really can't tell till they get a little older.
Till they get a little older.
Yeah, so we really don't know what he is. He's unsure. It's okay, baby.
Now, I love this.
This is a little pet carrier. You can actually carry anything in these, whether it be a bird or a puppy or a small animal of some sort. They're great carriers. And when I was thinking about bringing him, I said, okay, well, how am I going to get him there? Because he's still in a brooder at work. He's still in a brooder to stay warm. So I didn't know how I was going to bring him, and I thought about this, and I thought this is great. It opens on both sides.
It's absolutely perfect. So you can put any animal, and you sell these at your store.
We have these, yes, and they sell for about close to $20.
Well, that's not bad at all. And it opens at both ends.
Both ends, and they come in 3 different sizes. And this is the large, and then there's one a little bit smaller, and then a really small one for like hamsters or something like that. We have this bird, it is breeding season for birds, so we have got a lot of different birds in right now. We have a Solomon Island eclectus we're hand feeding, lovebirds, cockatiels, Timney gray, which is, it's an African gray. You have the Congos and you have the Timneys, and the one we have at the store is a Timney. And then we have this little guy. We will be feeding him till he is approximately 5 to 6 months old. So he's still got a good ways to go. They're very klutzy, very clumsy. He's just now learning how to use his feet, how to use his beak.
So how big will he be when he's fully grown?
He will be probably about 400 grams. which will make him about double this size.
His feathers almost look like fur.
Right now, he's just started getting his feathers. These are what we call pins. This will come off and it'll be a full feather like these. But right now, they're just little pin feathers. That's his baby feathers. And see how that comes up, Donna?
That looks almost like a Q-tip.
Yeah, well, when he's older, when he's an adult, he'll be able to throw this up to let you know if he's happy or excited or whatever the case may be. They use that for that. He's starting to throw it up some now. This is just one of the big birds. Cockatoos are not for everybody. These birds you have to spend a whole lot of time with.
So for the busy business person, really should not get a
Leave them
cockatoo.
alone. Exactly. They have to have a lot of time spent with them. If they don't have a lot of time spent with them, they turn into screamers. And these birds' screams are not just a scream. I mean, it is a ear-piercing scream. They have to have a very big cage. Their diet consists of mostly pellet. We recommend pellet. Seed is okay as a treat, but you want your birds mostly on pellet. The reason for that is because in the wild, they eat a lot of different things. Well, in captivity, when we feed them seed, they pick and choose what they want. They're not getting everything they need. Most of them will only pick the sunflower seed. Sunflower seed is very fattening. In captivity, they don't get enough exercise to burn off that fat. They'll end up, most of the time, dying of heart attacks because of obesity. So we always recommend pellet. Pellet has got everything in it they need, everything. So if they decide, well, we like the red pellet, we don't want the green pellet, it's okay because everything is in every color. And you can get the maintenance, which is just natural color. Then they can't pick and choose colors. I have an African gray, and he is big on the orange and leaves the purple and the green.
So they're picky.
They're very picky. They're very picky. But what we do with them when they're this age, I've already got pellet in a little dish in his brooder. So we start them off teaching them. And a lot of times we start them off with Cheerios because what happens, they'll play with them and the Cheerios got the hole in the center and they get it hung on their foot. So then they have to figure out how to get this Cheerio off their foot. They get it in their mouth, it tastes good, and they start eating. That teaches them how to eat. So
now how do you clean this bird?
You use water in a spray bottle. And cockatoos have a lot of powder when they're adults. So they have to be sprayed about twice a day with water. You can also use this formula that we have at the store. It's called Bath Time. And it has vitamins and minerals in it that actually soaks into the skin. And we actually recommend that to people that have cockatoos and African grays because they're so powdery. And if you own a bird, your house is going to be a lot more dusty because they do have powder. The more powder they have, the healthier the bird. But you want to keep that under control. So the best way to do it is spray them down really good in the mornings, and then around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you want them dry before bedtime. And at bedtime, we always recommend you cover them and always tell them night-night. And they'll learn. And they'll get to the point to where when it's time to go to bed, if you're not in the bed, they will let you know it is bedtime. And
they're very sensitive birds.
They are. They are. Very.
Now you have lots of birds. For the busy professional, what kind of a bird should the professional have?
I would recommend lovebirds or parakeets. Possibly a cockatiel because you don't have, and a cockatiel, a lot of people get cockatiel and cockatoo mixed up. The cockatiel also has this crest. It's not as big. The cockatiel is not near as big as the cockatoo. The cockatiel comes in a variety of colors, whereas the cockatoo, the colors are limited. So it's a big difference. So on the cockatiel, if a person is busy working, I would recommend for them a smaller bird, a bird that don't require as much attention, a bird that can kind of entertain themselves. A cockatiel, even a conure. some type of conure. There's a variety of conures, and they all talk. And cockatiels are wonderful talkers. The little bird. This is the big bird. This is the cockatoo.
Now he looks like he has blue eyeshadow on his eyes.
Yes, and when he's older, you'll still be able to see that. He won't have any feathers around his eyes, so he'll still continue to look like that when he's older.
Now, is he better raised by himself or with another bird?
By himself. It's better if you have a cockatoo. Only have one. That goes with any bird, unless you just don't have time to spend with them, then get two. But otherwise, you only get one bird, because what happens, they bond to each other, and then you can't handle them because they bond to each other. What your goal is for this bird to bond to you. So in the wild, they have a mate. In captivity, you are this bird's mate, and it will treat you that way. It'll treat you that way. And they're very sensitive, they're very intelligent. They do know us as predators. And it does take time for a bird to learn to trust a person.
So if you're buying one for a child, that may not be a good idea.
No, I would never recommend a big bird for a child. I have a lot of people come in wanting to buy their children African greys and cockatoos, eclectus. No, they cannot handle those birds. Start them off with something simple. Cockatiels are the best bird in the world for a beginner.
Cheryl, we've got just about a minute left in the show. Let's tell everybody where you're located and your telephone number.
We're located on Highway 431. We're right across the street from Sachs Football Stadium in Glaybrook Village Shopping Center. Our phone number is area code 256-236-6100.
And I really love shopping with Cheryl because Cheryl knows her stuff. She's small, she's local, she's right here in the area. She really knows her stuff. So you need to go by and see everything she has. I don't think you're very happy with me talking, huh? Oh, now, is that the tongue I see?
Yeah. Okay. And it's real thick. That's
It
what,
is.
That's what helps them talk. They have a real thick tongue.
We're going to have to go. Bye.
TV 24, your home for local sports in Northeast Alabama.
Treehouse in the meadow, below the mountain peak, the perfect place for lovers when they play hide and seek. There's a covered bridge at Cripple Creek where the horses always stop. Between the treehouse and the covered bridge, that's how Mama and Papa make love in the country, where skies are blue. And the flowers and the trees till you're up to your knees in love. There are roses on the trellis and the scent of new mown hay. The clinging vine is jealous on the fence across the way. There's a great big yellow moon above and a breeze to sing a song. Between the roses and the yellow moon, a fella can't go wrong if he makes love in the country. The flowers and the trees till you're up to your knees in love.
Lord, for goodness, not again.